impersonating police officers and flexing with fake badges until confronting real officers. These are 4 criminals who had to learn the hard way about the consequences of impersonating a police officer. Starting with the case of Casey Williams, who wasn't expecting what's about to happen to him and finally faces the consequences of his actions and a twist of fate. On April 8, 2021 in Whitehall, Ohio, police were dispatched to the scene after receiving a call relating to a man impersonating a police officer. The police would confront the suspect, 26-year-old Casey Williams, who was spotted patrolling the fairgrounds.
Where's the car come from?
Cleveland Watchman, the company that I work for. So they're owned by 2, it's a not-for-profit agency owned by 2 Cleveland police officers.
Not bad, sir.
He claims to be working off-duty for a company called Watchman, which apparently has also provided him with a patrol car. The officer is skeptical and asks Casey for his documents.
Do you have your ID on you by chance? So I get your information?
74 to 105.
So I left the sheriff's office there. I'm going to, I was full-time there. I left full-time as a jailed up there.
So you're not even a police officer?
Currently, I'm starting a new commission with a village up in Richland County, so yeah.
Okay.
He further claims to have been a deputy affiliated with the Pickaway County Sheriff's Office and now is starting a new commission in Richland Township. This is nearly 2 hours away from his current location.
But what I'm saying is you're not even a police officer. You're currently not a full-time or a part-time police officer anywhere.
Reserve.
Okay, where are you a reserve officer at?
So give me a second. I'll give you the name of the village because it got hooked up through the company here that I'm working with. So.
Okay, do you have an ID from that village?
Not with me, no.
Not with you?
No.
So you don't have an ID, you don't have a badge. What's the badge you were displaying earlier?
Sorry?
What's the badge you were displaying earlier?
What do you mean?
Do you have a badge?
Yes.
What was that badge you were displaying earlier?
That's my old Pickaway one.
So you have a Pickaway County badge, but you don't work for them?
It's a previous one from there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have that with you currently?
Yeah, it's a flex badge.
Can I see that, please?
Yeah.
The question arises, why is he posing with a badge from an agency he no longer works at? Moreover, the badge he presents to the officer can be instantly recognized as a fake. Nevertheless, the bluff seems to work, as the officer is unsure how to proceed with the case. Fortunately, a more senior officer is nearby and alerts him on radio that he's on the way. Getting backup is also wise. As you may have noticed, the impersonator is armed with 2 handguns. Should he not comply peacefully, it would be difficult for a single officer to control the situation, especially in a public area.
If he's working for this company and he's not a police officer, we have 2 options. One, which he can work for a company and he can regulate traffic.
I know,
Yeah.
but he worked for them. He worked for Pickaway.
What's his name?
He's got Casey Williams.
Casey Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He's over there. You know
Casey?
him?
Yeah, he was fired from Pickaway.
Oh.
Okay.
He's displaying their badge out here.
That's a made badge. That's not our badge.
Right, yeah.
We don't provide those and we don't approve those.
In the United States, trying to impersonate a police officer is considered illegal. It can land you hefty fines and up to 5 years in prison. According to 18 U.S. Code 912, whoever falsely assumes or pretends to be an officer or employee acting under the authority of the United States or any department, agency, or officer thereof, and acts as such or in such pretended character demands or obtains any money, paper, document, or thing of value shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 3 years or both.
So it's a township police department or
it's
a village?
Village in Richland Township. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a village in Richland.
But you have no ID from them,
No,
all right?
no.
And have you ever been sworn in by them?
I've talked to the chief.
No. I'm asking you a direct question. Have you been sworn in by
It's
them?
very important you answer this correctly because being a former police officer or someday a current police officer, you know if you lie in this situation, you go directly to jail.
No, I'm not.
So I'm going to put that right
listen,
out.
I'm not.
So
I'm
if you
not,
are telling me you are a police officer right now, is that what you're telling me? So you are not a commissioned police officer.
I have spoke with the chief.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you one question. Are you a commissioned police officer through the state of Ohio?
I have an OPUDA certificate.
That's not what I'm
That's
asking.
not what we're asking you.
I'm explaining to you. I have
No, you're not. You're not answering the question. You're avoiding the question. It's very simple. Are you a sworn police officer anywhere in the state of
means
Ohio with
commissioned.
any department?
Not currently.
Okay, that's the
Not
question.
Not currently.
I'm unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You would have to raise your hand, swear,
Okay.
sign a form, and you would get
I've talked to
paperwork on that.
Hello.
Talking to the chief is not enough.
The impersonator seemingly tries to get his chief on call, but that doesn't matter. What's important is whether Casey is an actual officer or not. If he can't prove that he was sworn in as a commissioned officer, he'll be charged with impersonation.
I found a good paying job, and I was told by the guys, like, hey, we'll take care of a commission, we'll get it taken care of, it's no big deal. I come out here, I was told, hey, you can start, make some money. That's all I was trying to do. Please do not, I'm asking you for courtesy, man to man, please do not ruin my career. Please, please, please.
I think you did that kind of on your own, Casey.
Please.
All right. The Pickaway County, you knew you didn't work for Pickaway County. You displayed that badge. All right. You're out here acting in law enforcement capacity, displaying a badge that you have no right to have, or a facsimile of a badge. That's not even a real badge.
Yeah.
You were aware of that.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not real.
Okay. So, all right, you're going to be charged.
Oh, seriously?
I'm serious. Okay. Now we're going to be nice about this. Okay. And we're going to take you over, and you can take your gun belt off, and you can set it on the hood of that car. Okay. And we're going to take you in. We don't have to handcuff you. This Officer Graham's going to pat you down. All right. And we'll let you out. All right. On a summons. All right. Now.
Are we too far for me to?
We're
Listen,
okay.
you're completely deceptive.
Here's the problem. Here's you don't understand that right now we can charge you for improperly handling in the vehicle. I can charge you for impersonating a police officer. All right. There's tons of
What are you charging me?
Here. Well, probably the impersonation of a police officer.
So the
right.
best thing to do right now is to just take off the belt.
And I'm
All right. So let's step over here and take care of that first.
Smith, right here. Right here.
All right.
Take off the belt. Then I'm going to switch.
You don't have anything else on you, do you?
No.
All right.
Just
Don't reach in. All right. You should know the drill.
Casey would try to plead with the officers to let him off out of courtesy. The officers make it clear they're already being courteous enough by taking him on a single charge instead of multiple. Not only had Casey been impersonating a police officer and posing with a fake badge, but also had a mock police vehicle with blue and red lights installed. Inside was a loaded AR-15 style rifle. Furthermore, he had lied plainly to the police officers. He wasn't an off-duty cop, nor was he on any assigned special duty with a company called Watchman. Rather, he worked as a Pickaway County Corrections Deputy, a position of a jailer. He would be searched and stripped of his possessions, which would include pepper spray, a taser, and handcuffs, alongside previously mentioned handguns. He would then be loaded onto the patrol car.
Man, there's just way too much. You've got a code in there that doesn't belong to you. That's got deputy sheriff stuff on there. You got a loaded rifle. You're a traffic guy, man. That's all your detail's going to be. What active shooter situation you going into? That you need to carry a loaded rifle and rifle plates.
They're not.
Listen, this is all because we're trying to look cool, whatever. I get it. Well, you're completely in the wrong. That's all I can tell you. You got to put your foot in there.
Ultimately, a second felony charge would be added in light of improperly handling a dangerous weapon in his vehicle. Following the charges, he would resign from his position at Pickaway County. But simply impersonating a cop is one thing. Impersonating as a means to evade capture for a stolen vehicle feels like a plot straight out of a movie. This is a scene that played out on September 7th, 2019 in Windermere, Florida. Officer Gerald Ogletree had conducted a traffic stop of a motorcycle rider after he noticed him disrupting traffic. The said motorcycle was also suspicious, with multiple colored lights, air horn, and siren installed and activated as seen in the video. Entering the driver's details would reveal him to be Jeremy Charles DeWit, a person then wanted for a stolen motorcycle. The police officers would immediately proceed to arrest and handcuff him. DeWit, however, would double down on his impersonation, even calling for backup on his radio.
I need units back here now with video cameras. Now! Sergeant, my vehicle's not stolen, Sergeant. I can tell you right now, everything's being videotaped on my body cam, Sergeant.
Okay, you're a convicted felon.
That's not a firearm, Sergeant.
Let's go.
That's a less lethal, Sergeant. So legally, for the per Florida statute, I'm allowed to carry that, Sergeant. 970. Go ahead and look it up, Sergeant. The vehicle's not stolen, Sergeant. I have the registration for the vehicle, Sergeant. I have the registration for the vehicle, Sergeant. Sergeant, get your lieutenant, please.
There is no lieutenant.
Then get a captain.
There is no captain.
Then get somebody that outranks you, Sergeant.
Nobody
I have
outranks
the
me.
very valid registration, Sergeant, that shows the state of Florida gave me the registration and that tag. The tag was stolen off another motorcycle. That motorcycle was stolen. We were given the tag back by Orange County Sheriff's Office, and then that tag was given to us by the Department of Motor Vehicles, Sergeant.
Well, you have handcuffs.
Make sure you have your body cameras running.
Body cameras are running. Why do you have
I'm
handcuffs?
not talking to you, officer.
Okay.
I have the registration for that vehicle, Sergeant.
He goes on to make some interesting remarks as the officers continue with their arrest.
We could have done this professionally, not like children. Just because you don't like me and you have a history with me doesn't authorize you to treat me like shit, Sergeant.
I'm treating you like shit.
You are, Sergeant. I'm getting this all on
Why do you
video
have a bulletproof
camera.
vest on?
And I can promise you, this isn't going to go the way you're planning. Officer, I have my body camera on.
That's fine.
So just leave my helmet on for right now, sorry, officer.
I'm taking it off.
Okay.
He would lose his cool and lash out when told he's being arrested for a stolen vehicle, yet surprisingly manages to keep his act intact.
That's because the Honda was stolen and we got the tag back from the Orange County Sheriff's Office and then we registered it to that motorcycle. And that motorcycle has that tag. And the Department of Motor Vehicles issued the registration sticker for that tag.
Huh?
Put him in the car.
All right.
Drop it down.
In the car, dude. You just chill. If it's an issue, we'll figure it out. But you screaming and yelling isn't going to change that. Okay?
Well, pulling me out and putting me in cuffs and doing this.
When your car is, when it shows signal 10,
right,
stolen, it's a felony.
With
So that's how it's done.
Registration, and I have the registration on my phone, but
just
you guys are refusing to listen.
Just sit tight.
Okay.
A search of his possessions would yield a BB airsoft handgun with its orange tip cut off. An investigation would reveal that DeWit was a repeat offender, having been charged and arrested for impersonating a cop before. At the time of his arrest, he had been acting as a security escort for a funeral procession. What's interesting is that he had been hired despite not possessing any license to serve as a security officer. Following arrest, he would be given multiple charges, including resisting arrest without violence, impersonating a law enforcement officer, unlawful use of a two-way radio, and reckless driving. Curiously enough, while his case was pending in court, he would be arrested again, once again for the impersonation of a cop. And then a year later, he would be arrested again. This time, he was not merely imitating a cop, but was leading a whole group of impersonators. Allegedly, he had 2 black stars on his fake uniform, which usually signifies a chief deputy in law enforcement. DeWit is also a registered sex offender. From a case of a plan backfiring to a case of just inviting trouble, here's the story of Jeffrey Scott Schultz, an impersonator who could have gotten away had he simply kept his mouth shut. On March 8, 2017, Jeffrey was pulled over for overtaking a school bus, and he asked for a courtesy to avoid paying a fine, stating himself to be a post-certified officer.
Written 1,000 tickets myself.
Are you with somebody?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
I can't tell you, sir.
He would threaten them by stating he has many high-ranking connections. This, of course, would only prompt the officer to indeed hand over the ticket and do some background investigation.
I've never written a cop in 29 years. Your attitude's what's got you. And I still don't even know if you're a cop. But I extended you the courtesy to let you look at the video.
Certification in here, okay?
No, certification, I need to know who you're with.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because anybody can be certified and have lost their damn job.
Oh, I haven't lost a job.
Well, that's...
It would be revealed that Jeffrey had been fired from his police agency way back in 2007. This related to him working on his private business while on duty and abusing his authority to harass and intimidate another individual. When confronted by his supervisor, he resorted to the use of profanity and derogatory remarks, following which he was terminated. Prior to that, he had been fired in 8 different police departments in a span of 15 years. The police would arrive at his residence, carrying a warrant for his arrest.
Hey there, how you doing?
How are you?
How you doing, Miss Schultz?
Good, how are you?
Came to talk to you about that ticket.
Okay, what's going on with it?
You don't have to worry about it,
Why did you come out here?
because I have a warrant for your arrest for impersonating a police officer.
When did I say that, sir?
Sir, just
I told you I'm
step
post-certified police officer.
step away and place your hands
Come
on the
man.
car.
I'm post-certified. I got my credentials in the car.
Place your hands on the hood, please, sir. Turn around.
Please do not do this.
Warrant's already been signed by the judge.
Here again, he would ask for courtesy, stating he's a post-certified police officer who saved lives.
I mean, come on, it was a courtesy. Dude, I'm post-certified peace officer. I've saved lives.
You want to let her know
I
he'll
can't
be
believe
there?
you're doing this to me.
You did to yourself. I turned everything over to my captain, figuring you might file a complaint.
No, I'm
He
not
started
filing a
looking
complaint.
into it, and he had my post instructor look into it, and he said, go sign those warrants. So, step back here, sir.
Can you please let me resolve this, what I'm in the middle of?
No, sir, we have to go down with
Come on, man. Why do you have to treat me that way? Seriously, why do you have to treat me like this?
Because you misrepresented yourself.
Look, I'm a Georgia certified peace officer.
But I can't tell you what department I'm with. Have a seat in the car.
I told you, I cannot tell you.
Because there is none. Have a seat. I've got your post history right here, bro.
Okay.
Have a seat in the car.
Can I please tell my fiance what is going on?
We'll let her know what's going on. Just have a seat in the car.
An independent investigation would reveal that Jeffrey had a history of abusing his real or faked position as a cop to deceive, manipulate, or gain unlawful advantage over others. So far in our cases, the impersonators in question have at least tried to keep up an appearance. This young gentleman, though, did the absolute minimal in his attempt to make others believe he's a police officer. The story took place on December 19th, 2023 in West Salem, Wisconsin. At a dog park, a man approached a lady claiming to be a reserve deputy from the La Crosse County Sheriff's Department. He was not in uniform, nor did he have a badge with him. He was claiming to be in search of a missing woman. Obviously suspicious, the woman shared the details with the police.
Can you tell me what happened at the park today?
I was taking my dogs out for a walk down on the point. I was taking some pictures, and all of a sudden I turned around and there's this gentleman that had walked upon me. And usually I'm pretty aware of my surroundings and paying attention, especially since I was the only one down there. Anyways, he approached me and he was talking to me, but I didn't know what he was saying. And I asked him if he could clarify what he was saying, because now that I look back at it, I think he had a cognitive disability.
Okay.
But he was slurring his words and saying that he was a police. I heard him say police officer, and I said, "You're a police officer? I can't understand what you're saying." I said, "You need to speak clearly. And what is your name, sir? I want to see your badge." Well, then he started backing off and he goes, "I'm looking for a missing lady and she's went missing this afternoon," and was talking about that. And I said, "You are not a police officer." And he goes, "Oh, I'm with the reserves. I'm with the La Crosse County Reserves." And I was like, this is a little concerning to me. Something's not right here. And so I said, "I'm going to call the La Crosse police." He was saying the same name each time, but he had such a slur to his words that I could not understand it. But I did understand when he said, "I'm a police officer," and then he changed it to, "I'm a La Crosse County Reserve." And I said, "Well, you would have a badge if you're identifying yourself as a La Crosse County Reserve." He did not, of course, have any of that. I just didn't like that he approached me, and especially he waited all that time all by myself. I felt like maybe he was watching me from one of the houses or something. And that's what I kind of thought, because I have two teenage daughters, and I thought, if they're walking down here, what is this guy doing?
Yep, we're in contact with him right now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep, he did.
And once I got on the phone and I was really looking him over, I could see that whatever headset he had on was fake. I could see probably there's a cognitive disability here. It was still disconcerting because I just did not like the way that he had approached me in such a small area. He's not a reserve officer, is he?
No, he has no legitimate claim to a badge. Okay.
No charges. I just want to make sure that he was talked to and understand that that's not okay.
Following the report, The police arrive at the scene, ready to confront the impersonator.
First, but we're gonna take him. Follow your lead, boys.
He's on the phone with his mom.
Oh, he's on the phone with mom?
Other than that, he just told me he works for John Siegel and works for whatever Whitehall PD, and he's a reserve for lacrosse. And he has a gun that lacrosse PD keeps in the evidence room. It's his gun.
Ranger office.
And yeah,
how he is.
I have multiple
but he told you that he works for John Siegel.
An officer would ask him his account of what happened. This is what he would reply. See if you can make any sense of any of it.
Can you tell me what happened down at the dog park? I went down to check because of the GS came in the door, and they said, regardless, I'll vacuum, clean out the vacuum. I see you just come to the door and you don't know why. Just show yourself and try to figure out why. And I did a Secret Service use safe walk around and checked the neighborhood. Okay. So then decided to walk back down here and check if they were dragged out. There's a V-shaped pattern. Okay. Near the property line of where I live, at least 2 of them were. Okay. So there's multiple footprints spreading out on the ground. Okay. Did you talk to the lady down at the dog park? I didn't mean to intrude on her, but I was just letting her know my presence. Okay, what'd you tell her? About a possible missing GS, so I activated the sheriff's department prior to leaving home law, I guess. Okay. Did you tell her you were a police reserve? No, I told her it was reserve sheriff, and this is reserve sheriff. Okay. Under Troy. Okay. So my witness pick now looking for Johnson's 26 and unofficial swearing in 2014.
Clearly, from his conversation, he appears to be a person with special needs, which makes the next move by the police officers all the more controversial.
So you put your hand behind your back? I didn't even do that.
Do you have any identification that will prove that you are an Independence or Whitehall police officer or reserve officer? If you have it, you at this time are required lawfully to present it to me.
I'm bad 626 Texas GPS 5
Okay, I'm gonna take it as a no.
Yep.
He would be promptly arrested and taken to jail. The police decide to go ahead with an impersonation charge, willing to use his words against him.
You verify that he identified himself to you as
also
a reserve.
He's a
who was
Minnesota
employed.
constable. He told me he was sworn under oath.
We're just gonna go with the lacrosse county stuff. So he told you that he was working under John Siegel as a reserve for your
told me that his
lacrosse
badge
agency.
name. He said he has a badge name. That's I think it's Troy Siegel, and he's got a picture in Siegel's office, and his gun's kept at lacrosse PD. And he went into pretty detail.
The man will be jailed with a cash bond set at $300. We leave it to you to decide if the police made the right judgment here. We don't know why people still try to pretend to be police officers, even though they almost always get caught and arrested. It seems there's no explanation for that. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe for more.